Resume transfer of a single file by rsync. In Ubuntu, I want to copy a big file from my hard drive to a removable drive by rsync. For some reason or other, the operation cannot complete in a single run. So I am trying to figure out how to use rsync to resume file copying from where it was left last time. I have tried to use the option partial or in place, but together with progress, I found rsync with partial or in place actually starts from the beginning instead of from what was left last time. Manually early stopping rsync and checking the size of the received file also confirm what I found. But with append, rsync starts from what was left last time. I am confused as I saw on the man page partial, in place or append seem to relate to resuming copying from what was left last time. Can someone explain the difference? Why partial or in place do not work for resuming a copy? Is it true that for resuming a copy, rsync has to work with option append? Also, if a partial file was left by MV or CP not by rsync, will rsync append correctly? Thanks and regards.
Looking at some pages for rsync. Append. This causes rsync to update a file by appending data onto the end of the file, which presumes that the data that already exists on the receiving side is identical with the start of the file on the sending side. In place. This option changes how rsync transfers a file when its data needs to be updated, instead of the default method of creating a new copy of the file and moving it into place when it is complete. Rsync instead writes the updated data directly to the destination file. Partial. By default, rsync will delete any partially transferred file if the transfer is interrupted. In some circumstances it is more desirable to keep partially transferred files. Sounds like if the file is very big, you would want to use partial append. Append implies in place. If this big file changes, then drop the append and rsync will check the beginning of the file to ensure it too matches the source file. In place to me sounds dangerous, except if you are syncing a big file. You don't want rsync to create a new temporary file of the beginning part, continue the transfer, then remove the old file to put the new file in place. The transfer would go faster if you could use the same file, not to mention the disk space needed for the transfer would be less. Also, I've found from a whole file transfer standpoint a copy is faster than rsync. However, if I needed to update a file, I've had rsync sync the file faster than retransferring the whole file again. Like I said above, rsync should be able to resume from a CP. I hope this helps.
If you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing.